All right, hey guys, welcome. We've just had big news. There has been an assassination attempt on our commander and chief, WCS, and it has been successful. We have just witnessed the murder of the World Championship Series. Starcraft has been confirmed as a dead game by a doctor on the scene, and we all said, oh no, Starcraft's dead, WCS is dead, but bam! In comes ESL with the ESL Pro Tour and says, get fucked. Check it out. We're doing a thing that's better. It's like WCS, but with a different name. We've taken it apart. We've stitched it back together again. We've infused it with lightning and all sorts of things. And this is an announcement I've been being like, guys, don't worry. WCS is happening. I've been saying this for like a month because I knew this was coming. I'm so happy it's finally announced. Because people had told me this was going to be announced like, mid-December. It's now the 8th of January here in Australia. As I'm seeing this announcement, I'm so happy because this is really exciting. Basically, Starcraft Esports, as well as, of course, ESL, announced this. We're excited to announce the future of Starcraft 2 Esports. Our 3-year deal with ESL, 3-year, will help create a long-standing, high-quality program that keeps Starcraft 2 Esports thriving for years to come. I actually haven't looked at this Starcraft 2 website link, but I imagine it's almost identical to the one on the ESL website. They basically have said, hey guys, 10 years, Starcraft Esports is awesome. We are basically going to shut down the WCS mobile app. WCS as a brand is being retired. The WCS site will be taken down in early 2020. It's been a huge part of the Starcraft community, and it's been murdered. But you know what? Out with the old, in with the new. We've got the ESL Pro Tournament. Basically, it's StarCraft 2 ESL Pro Tournament, DreamHack SC2 Masters combined into this lovely thing. I believe it's all under the ESL Pro Tour banner, but you will have DreamHack Masters tournaments and ESL tournaments within that, which is cool. So it's going to have 6 international tournaments a year, 4 with DreamHack, 2 with ESL, weekly competitions that will feed into the ESL event. So they're going to have like weekly online cups, which anyone can play in from around the world. I believe they're completely open. There's like, I believe, a Korean one, an NA, and an EU one. I believe that are all completely open. I'm not 100% sure how they're doing it. But that's going to be really cool. Basically, more than US $1.2 million each year in prize money. To celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the release of StarCraft 2 this year, 2020, through to the start of 2021, is actually going to have a larger combined prize pool of more than $1.9 million. So the prize pool is actually going up this year, guys. However, I believe $1.2 million is a small drop from last year, 2019 and 2018. So I think what we're having is a temporary, actually quite a nice boost, and then afterwards a small drop down with the prize money, which, to be fair, considering there was people saying, is there even going to be a WCS? This is actually pretty damn incredible, I would say. It seems really, really awesome. Obviously, there's lots of cool things. They've said back in October, we announced the return of StarCraft 2 to IM Katowice. Initial prize pool of $250K. Thrilled to share that we are increasing that prize pool to $400,000 on top of our 2020 to 2021 commitment. So basically, they're saying good stuff's happening, guys. Shit's happening, and there's nice stuff. These numbers don't have the Korean numbers, says Melty. It might actually end up being the same. Maybe they'll give more to Korea. Okay, yeah, that's quite possible. Good point, Melty, in chat. Calling out some good points there. Let's take a look at the actual format, shall we? This is not the post I wanted to look at initially. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay, so let's go and take a look back at, because I actually went to ESL's Twitter. Here we go. Here's the... Oh, by the way, that is a hype video. Have you guys watched this?
WCS tournaments. Starting with...
I think I'll get copyright claimed if I show that on stream. Do you guys think I can get away with it? Can we can show like 3 seconds? There's a really epic... Oh, this is not it. This is not it. Oh, this is like a format video. That's lame. That was a cool hype video. It must be further down. They have... Oh, yeah. Here it is. They had this great video. You guys gotta go watch this. Just this epic video. It was showing like they had, all these clips from all the most epic moments over the last 10 years of StarCraft 2. Super, super cool. You gotta watch that video. I don't want to get copyright claimed and have this video taken down. So people are saying, oh, that'd be a dick move. Bots do that. So it's not like there's an individual at ESL that would do that on purpose. But yeah. So let's take a look at this this post here and just run you guys through the format quickly. Because I'm not sure. You know, like I said, I had a preview of this, but some things might have changed. Yep. By the way, Warcraft 3 is also getting an ESL Pro tournament as part of this announcement, for those who don't know. Obviously, smaller numbers of prize money, smaller numbers of players at the tournaments, as far as I know. But they've actually, the fact that they're coming out with a Warcraft 3 Reforged circuit is so cool. I'm so excited to watch Grubby and Todd and all these guys get really competitive again. I hope Todd just gets crazy competitive and just grinds like a mother trucker. Like, because Todd is such an awesome dude, but he is one of the most competitive guys out. He's like all or nothing when he gets into something, right? I want to see him just go crazy with it. I want to see some of those old rivalries. So here we go. 0 to hero. We've got this beautiful thing. We've got ESL Open Cups, these weekly cups. Then you can qualify for the Masters, play the Masters, and then that increases your ESL Pro Tour ranking, which is basically like the old WCS point system, where obviously the top players get through to no longer BlizzCon, guys. It is actually not for BlizzCon. It's IEM Katowice is the new BlizzCon, is a big part of this announcement. And a lot of people have been saying that sounds really sad. It's not a BlizzCon. BlizzCon was one of the most compromised tournaments always throughout the years because we had such a small amount of time. And for the last, I would say since 2017, since IEM Katowice hit its current format, the commentators, we've all been saying, we say it a little bit publicly, we say it a lot amongst ourselves, Katowice is our real BlizzCon. Now, that's no hate on Blizzard or WCS. It's not like, oh, we love ESL and we hate Blizzard. Obviously, it's all collaborative, right? ESL, you know, is being funded by Blizzard to do these tournaments. And Blizzard wanted these tournaments. The thing is, Katowice, we have a huge stadium. We have a big arena before that. And more importantly, we have like six full broadcast days is what we normally have. Do you guys know how important that is? 6 full days as opposed to BlizzCon, which is like a couple of opening weekdays, which are always pretty short broadcasts and pretty restricted, very small format. And then it's like, and then we go to the final thing. We try to cram a bunch of matches in 1 or 2 days. Katowice has always had way more players. We have group stage round robins. So we have groups with 6 players in them when they all play each other in best of 5s. Or best of 3s, I think it might have been. Either way, you're playing 5 best of 3s as opposed to often you would see people eliminated at BlizzCon in 2 best of 3s, sometimes by the same opponent, which is just shit. It's just shit. So, here we've got a little video that's kind of running us through exactly how it works. But basically, what's so much better about Katowice is that it feels more like the International. It feels more like a Counter-Strike major, one of these events that you've got a chance for one bad match doesn't just eliminate a player from the tournament. You've got this extended format that allows players to actually show their worth and show their skill. So Katowice has always been the most exciting tournament. Don't get me wrong, it is sad that we don't have a confirmed BlizzCon tournament here for the ESL Pro Tour, but I would imagine Blizzard will hopefully then be motivated just to host a bonus thing, a set of show matches or a cool, fun extra tournament outside the system or you know, as a surplus to the system that ends up going on top of things at BlizzCon. So something like someone in chat, Chimera says BlizzCon Invitational, something would be cool. Exactly. Something like that would be amazing. And obviously this means this Katowice is simply a beginning. It's just going to be like the previous ones, but the one in February, March 2021 will be our end of year finals. So our end of year finals is going to be about 13 months from this video that I'm making right now. Yes, I'm sure there'll still be a BlizzCon Starcraft presence. I don't know what it will look like and what it'll be, but it should be really cool. It even says Special has dropped in chat. El Juanito. I don't know why I'm calling him El Juanito rather than Don Juanito. Either way, Mr. Nacho himself says it doesn't. It says they even said on the website that they will definitely have something at BlizzCon. It's not dead. There will still be Starcraft at BlizzCon. They're just not saying what yet. Exactly. All right, cool. What other stuff? So let's check it out, guys. Obviously, you've got Road to Katowice counted towards ESL Pro Tour ranking. Winners are directly invited through. You've got Katowice. We've got Dallas. We've got DreamHack. So DreamHack StarCraft 2 Masters at Dallas. DreamHack StarCraft 2 Masters Valencia. DreamHack StarCraft 2 Masters at Montreal. And then we've got 2, I guess, that aren't fully announced yet. I'm not sure. You got these different point system. The Korean leagues hasn't been announced yet, but we can click on there. You can see that points for Katowice goes down. And you can see they're giving points much deeper. This is something Apollo had mentioned to me. He said, Pig, we want to give points deeper down the rankings, and we also want to spread the prize pools deeper down the rankings. So something they were very keen on is trying to make sure that prize pool goes deeper down the ranks. Players have more chances to play more matches. You still get rewarded with both points and prizing further down. They want it to spread out beyond just that small elite top tier of players, and we'll see exactly what happens. Melty says, this post here actually doesn't include Leipzig. That was actually announced on TLNet. Hot damn. Oh, look at that. This little graphic, when I scroll down, let's see, does it do it again? Oh, I need to refresh, I think. 156 cups a year, 52 weeks a year, 3 regions, $100 prize money for each cup. I believe that's a winners take all format. So it's just the winner of each cup gets $100, I think, which is kind of brutal, but awesome. And you get plus 10 points for each one of those. So these weekly cups will actually add up a lot to your rankings. So Masters qualification, formerly known as Challenger. The next level within our structure is the Masters qualification, which is these open cups, basically, right? These series of regional tournaments offer prize money along with free travel and accommodation to high finishing players. Regional prize money. Oh, yeah. So you still... Okay, so Masters qualification is basically what Challenger used to be. I believe they said they haven't announced the regional prize money distribution just yet. Okay, so they're not announcing that just yet. Now, you can see here, I'm a little bit sad that Oceania did lose a spot, guys. But to be fair, we haven't really been performing at a level where we necessarily 100% deserve 2 spots, outside of maybe, obviously, like Risky getting there. You know, obviously, this is one of those specials in chat. He says, get funked. He's laughing at us because Latin America keeps their spots and we lost ours. I mean, it makes sense. You've got special, even though Kelazur is not playing full time right now. Hashtag walled. Even though Kelazur is not playing full time, he's still a beast. Special, of course, one of the very best players. Latin America deserves those 2 spots. You know, it sucks to lose it. Obviously, I'm always going to be like, can we get 10 spots for my country and my area? Unfortunately, we can't. I'm not sure the exact changes here. What I am very happy about, the main change here is that Europe is getting a lot more spots. And Europe is such a competitive region with StarCraft 2. And I mean, there's things to be said for spread it out as much as possible. But there's also, hey, if you've got such a density of great players, you gotta give more spots. And if you're suddenly opening it up to the top 7 players in a qualification, rather than just the top 2 or the top 3 or the top 4, it's a big change. I tell you guys, getting a top 8 is much more possible than getting a top 4 in a lot of these qualifiers. It means beating one less Showtime level player, which is huge. Okay, cool. So basically, these are going to run throughout the year. There's going to be big open bracket rounds and all sorts of stuff. I'm not going to go through the format in too much depth, guys. You guys can read the post yourself. Big thing is there is a 3-year commitment, okay? So what are the cliff notes, since I'm taking so long to go through this, since I've just read this morning as well. 3-year commitment. They said, look, we're doing it 2020, 2021, 2022, and into the start of 2023, obviously, because Katowice will be start of 2023. So we've got 3 years of StarCraft in a very similar form to where it currently is, which is amazing. 10-year anniversary, big 325 grand bonus prize pool this year. Guys, the new global playoffs moves from BlizzCon to Katowice. Formerly, it was 8 circuit players versus 8 from Korea. Now it's expected to be about 18 versus 18. So rather than the top 16 in the world, the top 36. Guys, I've also heard that, like, there are some other... I don't want to reveal things. I don't know if they've been announced yet, but I've heard there might be some other cool shit going on with, like, they might... I don't know if this is confirmed yet. They might be scaling the points, so it's worth more towards the end of the year. I don't know if that's actually happening or not, so don't quote me on that. We'll have to double check it. But if that goes through, that's going to be exciting. You guys can confirm if they announce that or not, or if that's actually happening, because this was just a theory. This was a, hey, we might do this, so I don't know if that's happening. But if that goes ahead, that would be cool. Either way, the fact that they're basically going to say, hey, we've got open bracket qualifiers for BlizzCon, essentially. The same with Katowice, where, yeah, sometimes with BlizzCon, you'd have someone who did well at the start of the year. They weren't so good at the end of the year. And they wouldn't do so well. But you're going to have a chance for someone who's just coming into form at the end of the year to still qualify into the open bracket type thing for the World Championship, which is amazing. It's so cool. I'm so happy they finally announced this, guys. Let's take a look at some tweets, shall we? Some community reactions, because I haven't really read them too much. Mana has thrown out a tweet this morning. What did he said, I can't stress enough how good it is to feel secure for at least the next 3 years as a player, knowing that everyday hard work is not going to waste. The new Starcraft series looks very promising. I hope the fans will appreciate it, show a lot of love, so we can keep it alive. So he's been very excited. Harstem said, Apollo retired from casting to save Starcraft, together with DreamHack and ESL. I can't remember being this happy over something I had no influence on. Drogo responds, Apollo killed Starcraft so that it could be saved. Apollo, of course, himself said, I've been working on this furiously for many months now. I'm excited to finally be able to talk about ESL Pro Tournament, new WCS for Starcraft 2 confirmed for the next 3 years. This also includes Warcraft 3. I'm going to be answering questions here and Reddit for the next couple of hours or so. I guess we can read one or two of those responses. He says, hey, Apollo, this looks good. I'm going to ask selfishly if there will be any opportunities for third-party tournament integration into the new ecosystem. Joe, of course, works with Cheese at Delphi at tournament, which has been putting lots of money into those NA tournaments. Great production as well on those. Apollo says, I'm 100% willing to have other tournament organizers included in the system. We just need to have those conversations, but very willing to include others. That's awesome. Will the weekly Open Cups play into this system at all? Sounds like an interesting ad based on the announcement video. Yes, each weekly tournament in each region will contribute the prize money, but also the winner will collect the ESL Pro Tour points. So you can build up those points over the season. There will be a global event in 2020 that we will do in addition to Katowice, he says as well, in response to Gemini. He's like, dude, where's the Korean tournaments? Are we still having global? Are we still having GSL versus the world? What's going on? For the first year, it will play into the similar system to 2019 for the Korean scene. However, we understand the entire region lock discussion needs to happen isn't something we could tackle in a short term. So Apollo said, look, we actually really want to revisit that and potentially totally change the thing and remove the region lock because there's no new blood in Korea and we don't want the Korean scene to die out. Fuck yeah, Apollo. Awesome. Good on him. Let's scroll down StarCraft Reddit. I had a glance here for like 1 second. I giggled and then I was like, I want to look at this again fresh. So the future of StarCraft esports. Okay, so this is basically the stuff I've just shown you. Let's read the comments of that. But let's scroll down further. All hail our Lord and Savior of esports. So the Apollo memes are already out. Even I think this post came out like 8 hours ago, 10 hours. How long? I think it was like 7 or 8 hours ago this got announced. I'm not sure how long. So that was a Gemini post. We've got, if you see this JPEG file while scrolling, you've been visited by Base God Apollo from ESL. 3 years of StarCraft 2 and Warcraft 3 tournaments will come to you, but only if you comment, thank Mr. Apollo on this picture. Okay, good to see everyone's in a positive move when you're happy and sad at the same time. StarCraft 2 Pro scene guaranteed for 3 years. Remove the one tournament you could attend in Anaheim. That's actually a good one. So a few people were saying, feels like Blizzard doesn't care anymore. Someone said in chat earlier, I can't remember who it was, someone who's a regular in my chat, they said, sounds like Blizzard doesn't care about StarCraft. There are other people in the response to the announcement. A lot of the really hardcore people in the scene are like, this is amazing news. We were worried it would be bad news. So obviously we're like, in a way, we are just happy to have anything. But at the same time, we're also super friggin' excited because it is actually a great system. But a lot of people are saying, well, Blizzard doesn't care. They're throwing money at it to deal with the problem because they don't want to put resources towards it, yada, yada. And I just want to say, I think that's totally something where anyone who's been involved in WCS has realized it's been really hard for Blizzard to effectively manage this. Blizzard is not an esports expert company. Compared to someone like ESL, their job is running tournaments and they're so good at it, right? Especially with Apollo at the helm, ESL, DreamHack, these guys. I think handing the reins over to them is the best thing Blizzard could do. Yes, Blizzard was running Overwatch and stuff, and still I think is in-house, but that was like purely something they really started investing in hardcore with Overwatch. When WCS first came out, there was a lot of mistakes with it. There was a lot of problems. People say WCS killed the StarCraft scene or did a big blow to it in 2013 when it came out. It overrode a lot of tournaments and drowned out their viewership and pushed competitors out of the scene while mismanaging their own tournament. There's a lot of criticisms of how Blizzard ran their WCS system, and I think they turned it around a lot in the last few years and did an amazing change from, I would say, 2016, even 2015 was when the ship started turning really hard, and then 2016 got some steam. 2017 was like, you know, the system we had for 2017, 2018, 2019. Amazing couple of years of StarCraft that turned things around. And good to see there's still Cannon Rush things. What is this? I'll read that later. Basically, long story short, I think things are really good, guys. And a lot of people are saying this, you know, I actually think it's way better to have ESL running this than it is Blizzard. I think we all knew StarCraft 2 was going to get probably, I think a lot of us were thinking a 50% budget cut this year or in the last year. We actually thought some crazy shit was going to happen, guys. I will go check that post in a second. I don't know what the hell that was. I saw my name in Florencio files. We'll go take a look in a sec. But yeah, long story short, we are looking at a very competent company with a very passionate nerd, StarCraft nerd, a WCG champion. In what game did Apollo win? Does anyone remember? It was like 0 Hour or something. I always forget. It was one of those like Command and Conquer RTSs in like 2008. He's still a world champion in an RTS, and that counts. That counts. That's actually really, I think it was maybe Red Alert 3, something like that. And you know, he's a passionate StarCraft nerd, and he's been doing so much. Like I've actually literally seen like a tournament once where we had a really bad guy directing part of our tournament, and he kept screwing things up, and literally they were introducing like the wrong player names, and they kept getting, this is a few years ago, I won't say which tournament. Basically, I have seen Apollo so angry that the production wasn't getting our stuff right, that he went and started shouting at a dude and literally got removed by one of the higher ups from the production room because he was so angry that they were butchering the broadcast. And they're like, you need to leave. Apollo is so passionate, guys, and he is so invested. And I've seen this guy literally just like live out of hotels for months on end, travel around the world, setting up these tournaments, getting venues ready, getting production ready. He's got true passion. And I think he's not as constrained. ESL is still more of a startup compared to Blizzard, which is a bit more of a big old dinosaur in a good way. Blizzard has great, awesome things, but they're just not as agile as ESL. I think ESL, you know, has passionate nerds like Apollo. So I actually think it's really good. We'll see the responses. Let's see if there's any really good questions. You guys can shout them out in chat as well. The video featuring Controller TB is very much... Guys, go watch the announcement on the Twitter, and I believe it's up on their YouTube if you haven't already. I felt really emotional. So, obviously, TB and In Control were in it, but also just so many moments of our game over the last 10 years, and it was beautiful. I thought you'd been fading out of the scene for years. It made me really sad. Yeah, for a lot of casual fans, they don't realize Apollo's been behind the scenes running Katowice. For many years, we had a lot of other IEMs in China, for instance, that Apollo was always there running. He's never been fading out. He's always been watching. He's come down to the occasional Home Story Cup and casts, even though he doesn't have time to play anymore or anything. He still loves the game very deeply, and you know, is always taking feedback and stuff. I know when he was making this system, he kept going to people like Rotterdam for feedback. He was not just going, hey, this is the new system, Pig, here's a heads up. He was saying, tell me anything that's wrong with this system, tear it up, give me feedback. And I did give him feedback, and actually most of what I said has been incorporated, which is really cool. It was already stuff he said. Rotterdam had said the exact same stuff, and a few other people had. So really cool to see he was taking that feedback. Just to thank you. Can't figure it out from the graphs. How many players will qualify? I have travel assistance, 16 from qualifiers like Old Challenger into the Masters Tournament. Cool. Will there still be open brackets? Yes. I don't think there's... I'm looking for drama. Let's scroll to the bottom. There's got to be drama somewhere. Blizzard's blue post stresses that StarCraft 2 will be at BlizzCon, although they don't go into the details. All right, I gotta scroll to the bottom to find some drama, guys. There's no drama here. Super pumped. Where's the negative? Where's the negative? Okay, let's go. Here we go. All right, super happy to see this. Just getting back into this game. StarCraft's easily the best esport to watch. Makes sense for Blizzard to shift the production costs elsewhere if the region lock remains in place. I think it's a good move. Allow me to translate from PR speak. We're winding down involvement with Starcraft. We're throwing money at it for 3 years so people don't complain. WCS is over. We won't dignify it with a farewell. We know the Starcraft community will be happy if there's any Starcraft at all. Throw bones in the right direction, in the right spin. People don't complain, the bones are getting smaller. I mean, I'm happy there'll be a pro scene. Let's not pretend the bones aren't running out. Let's be okay, real talk. I'm really positive, right? And like I said, because I was expecting this year to maybe be shit. And you know what? At the end of 2018, I thought maybe 2019 wouldn't be as good. And the same thing in 2017. But there's a point where the system stays at a very similar level of investment for many years in a row that I'm like, oh, this is actually what we're looking for more than anything here is some level of sustainability and consistency. And there is a weird thing in the esports scene where the thing is most esport investments are kind of like angel investments almost. It's like either it's marketing budget for in-game transactions, which did you guys see how Heroes of the Storm worked out? This was a game which had a crazy budget. You guys see how sick their production was? The problem was it was 80% marketing budget. And what happened when the in-game transactions went down? People were like, I've had this game for 5 years. I've bought everything in the game. I'm not going to keep spending money. I'm playing other games now. At some point, microtransaction income trickles down. It slows down. So if you're using your marketing budget and you're basically saying, well, more people involved in esports, more people buying in-game transactions, that creates a feedback loop. The moment that stream runs dry, it just gets gutted brutally because where's the money going to come from? So that was always one of the big problems for me with Heroes of the Storm, where I said, oh, this is so cool that they're investing so much in it, but I know where that budget's coming from, and it scares the shit out of me because, like, well, what's going to happen when the game inevitably loses popularity, right? You know, and this is the problem is, right, we want stable sports scenes, and we've got a very unstable esports infrastructure. So personally, I'm looking at this and saying this is actually quite good. And I understand. Don't get me wrong, guys. Has StarCraft investment gotten smaller? Yeah, it seems it. Especially, you know, since the Morheims left, and even before that, in some years there was things that got smaller. Some things were bigger. But it's a certain thing where the fact is that we're looking at a Blizzard which wasn't willing to support Heart of the Swarm. Heroes of the Storm, sorry. Did I say Heart of the Swarm? You guys know what I meant. And yet they're committing to StarCraft for at least 3 more years. It's a similar system in terms of pro support to what it was previously. We've got passionate people running the show. I actually think it's amazing if we can have more stuff not managed by Blizzard. As much as I love Blizzard, I think, you know, ESL do a great job, and this way they get to build their own brand with these games that have a legacy. And I think one of the big frustrations we've had as fans is that StarCraft has an epic history as a game, and sometimes we don't push that. Sometimes we're like, StarCraft feels like it gets the back seat. One thing that ESL have been saying, and I'm not just talking about Apollo, guys, as much as I've been raving about Apollo, this is a lot of people in that organization. I'm talking the guys who I've worked with in the production, the different directors and producers of the shows. I'm talking Carmack, who you guys obviously know is a big guy. I'm talking about some of the higher ups at ESL. They've all, whenever you talk to them about StarCraft, even back in the real dead game horror days of 2014, where everyone was like, 2015, 2014, everyone's like, this game's dying, oh shit. They were like, we want to keep running tournaments as much as possible. This game has so much more history than anything else. They're like, hey, we built our brand from 2001. ESL was doing Warcraft 3 tournaments, and they built their brand of that over many, many years. They were doing Counter-Strike tournaments before CSGO exploded consistently because they were like, well, we've got this history. We've been doing this game, and we like history. They're like, for us, we are a sports league. We like there to be history. We like there to be heroes who are built up over decades, not just they're good one year and they disappear the next. You know, we don't want these esports scenes where it's like, oh, this guy's a veteran player who's become a commentator. He was a pro player for 3 months when no one knew what the fuck was happening because the game was brand new. They appreciate history a lot. And this is why they love StarCraft so much, because they realize they can build on that legacy and they can attach their own name to that legacy. So something which I think Blizzard tried to do intermittently, I think we're going to see ESL really build upon and say, we are actually attached to that legacy of Starcraft and elite RTS esports. They're already quite synonymous, of course, with a lot of the big Dota and CS tournaments. I always have seen, you know, kind of like Starcraft, LoL, Dota, CS kind of as like the big esports dogs. There's other ones as well now. There's so many big esports, don't get me wrong. But these are the ones with like the most history to me. And obviously League of Legends comes in a bit later, you can argue. But in a way, is StarCraft 1 really the same as StarCraft 2? There's similarities, but, you know, League of Legends actually came out before StarCraft 2. So as much as I used to hate on that game and I've never really played it much, it's still got, it's built history over the last 11 years as well. So anyway, guys, I'm really excited. I'm looking for more negative comments. Did anyone message any in chat or ask any questions? I want to answer it because, you know, I don't want this to just be a PR post. I'm excited, and I'm being honest about that. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, okay, so a lot of people wondering about Korea, and that's some good stuff. I don't know how to watch this. Does the prize money stack up the total from last year's WCS? People are saying, look, I understand the 2019 circuit had a total global prize pool over $2 million. Since that appears to be going down to less than $2 million, and the WCS Global Finals had a 500 plus 200K versus the 400K prize pool. This figures, it sounds like, on the whole, the total prize money for 2020 will be less than 2019, and that 2021-22 will be even less than 2020, notwithstanding any future war chests, which sounds like there is some plan. I'm sure I've missed some details here, so what have I missed? And Hypnodrone's answers, and this is the point I was about to make, any number over 2 million must have included Korean events. Circuit event prize pools are only 100K each. The numbers for ESL probably don't include Korean local events, which are yet to be announced, but on the way. So we're not really sure where the numbers. He tweeted $1.9 million prize pool was not including Korean events, whereas the $2 million was including Korean. I believe it is a prize pool jump this year. The following year, it may go down again. We'll see exactly how that goes. All right, guys, let's finish up. Here's a negative comment. You smell bad. Thanks, Ragnar. I appreciate it. Can ESL pick up heroes too? I would like them to, but obviously we'll see if that's part of their thing. What are they going to do for casting the weekly cup, says Alisana? If they've got two guys in a room, some are casting live, or is it just going to be Rifkin, Winter, Take, Wardy, whoever wants to just cast it, you know, off VODs? I have no idea yet. We'll see how that goes. Oh, I should sort by controversial. Guys, okay, so we just got a Reddit hack. The next time we do a video like this, we want to go sort by controversial. How do we do that? Sort by controversial. All right. Okay, yeah, and then it puts the bottom comments at the top. Great. The absolute dumpster fire of doomers. Rep WCS. I'm in the amateur runs. I'm not familiar with how it works. Can we see dates and timetables? This is accessible. Oh, Cyril said something. What did Cyril say, guys? Nice. It's nice. I love you, Cyril. You're my favorite. Someone plugging a Singapore tournament and bumping in. Awesome. Legend here. Okay, that's really not a lot of controversy. Yeah, I have no idea what they're doing for commentary. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so I actually think there's I have a lot of admiration for companies that outsource things, guys. I think outsourcing things is actually not a bad thing. People are talking about, oh, thank God they're giving it to ESL. Or some people are saying, no, this is terrible. I want Blizzard to do it. This is so shit, man. This is so shit. I can't believe Blizzard's not managing it themselves. It's one of those things where it's like, no, let's outsource it to the experts. I actually think outsourcing is like where you're like, oh, we want this to be done properly, rather than try and hodgepodge it together ourselves. So I like it. Yeah, people are saying we want to make sure there's actual good commentary for Masters qualifiers. This is actually Challenger, so let's hope Challenger doesn't disappear, because we had a lot of awesome broadcasts in the last year or two for Challenger. So a lot of people saying we don't want to miss that. I'm with you guys on that. Yeah. What's the word on the new war chest? Will there be one for Katowice? If so, it better be announced in the next month, I would say, at the latest. So we'll see. I hope so. I have no idea. How do you see StarCraft in the next few years? For me, it looks like it's growing up last year, isn't it? Oh, I mean, 2018, it jumped in viewership massively. Last year, I think, was a drop from that year, I believe. But I think it was overall still pretty good, like still bigger than 2017. We'd have to check it. Yeah. Read the fine print earlier. There is a route to community casters for the weekly cups, but I assume business as usual for the big boys, says Ragnar for the commentary. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate the support. I know this was a long, meandering video. There's a lot to cover. I'm sure I missed some things, but I'm excited. And I hope you guys are as well. Oh, I was like, are they? I was like, because this announcement got delayed, there was like that voice in the back of my head that was like, but what if they're not doing it? What if they were waiting for the last signature and then some guy came and goes, no, we don't have budget. Like, we're canceling the fucking deal. Like, I was like, why isn't it announced? I was screeching. That was in the back of my head. I didn't really believe that, but I was like, so very happy to have this all announced. Go check it out. We'll try to include a few links below, but basically if you just check out the ESL Twitter is the best way to keep up to date, as well as the Starcraft esports Twitter will still be going strong. And yeah, check it out. Follow everyone involved. Have some fun. WCS is kicking off. Oh, so yeah, thanks for hanging. I love you all, and have a good night.